Here is how it all went down on Super Sunday. John and Jim Harbaugh exchanging pleasantries before the game. Jack and Jackie Harbaugh, mom and dad and mom watching the game high above the stadium. Ray Lewis reacting to the emotional America the Beautiful with the Sandy Hook Elementary School's choir performing, and Colin Kaepernick got the ball first as the Ravens deferred, and what ended up happening was they stopped the 49ers and Kaepernick, then got the ball, matriculated down the field, and on third down and offsides gave the Ravens another shot at third down inside the red zone, and this time Flacco did not miss. Anquan Bolden right there.
This was a great route. The linebacker thought he was coming underneath. He's kept it straight up the field. Great route, great throw.
Ravens draw first blood 7-0. Next Niners possession. Kaepernick on 2nd and 11. Michael Crabtree, nice catch and run.
That is a nice catch and run by Crabtree. Crabtree made some plays, had a big drop today.
And on
Ray
Ray
Lewis. They were attacking Ray Lewis over the middle of the field right there. That's just the starter. Vernon Davis attacked him. Crabtree attacked him.
And here's the aforementioned Vernon Davis attacking. A wide open Vernon Davis streaking inside the 10-yard line, 24-yard gain. And Ed Reed appears to have injured his knee. He said afterwards that he sprained his MCL on this play.
He did, but the Ed Reed I know was not going to come out of that game.
Certainly not in his hometown stadium. 2nd and goal. Kaepernick flings it, and it goes off of Crabtree's hands and almost into the hands of Randy Moss. So the Niners on 3rd and goal now. Paul Kruger making a big play. So a big defensive stop for the Ravens in the red zone. San Francisco, they've been getting touchdowns in those situations.
This game is all about third downs, and you have to convert third downs in big games.
They have to settle for a field goal. Speaking of converting third downs, looked like Flacco was throwing this away, but the first wow play of the game, Flacco to Anquan Bolden right there, a 30-yard reception. 3 plays later, 3rd and 13, Flacco is sacked. So the Niners with a big play right there, as Baltimore has to punt in this situation, keeping it 7-3, and that's how the Harbaugh brothers reacted to that single play. Let's go to the second quarter now. Next Niners possession. It's still 7-3 Baltimore. 5th play of this drive, right outside the Ravens red zone, and LaMichael James with the big first turnover of the night.
Count him, Rich. That's the second mistake right there. You have a penalty that leads to a touchdown, and now you have a turnover on a key possession when you're about to go in.
Courtney Upshaw creates the fumble. Arthur Jones recovers it. Yes, Jim, that was very difficult for him to believe right there as Tom Rathman speaks to one of his charges. So what would the Ravens do with the first turnover of the night? They would move it down the field. Ed Dixon with a nice juggle grab on Terrell Brown. 2 plays later at the 22, Flacco for Dixon again, and Dante Whitner grabs him by the face mask, so lots of laundry comes out on the field to move it half the distance to the goal. That would be the 4-yard line, and then 2 plays later, Flacco to Dennis Pitta in the end zone to convert the turnover into 7 points.
This was a great throw by Flacco right here, and a great route by Pitta. Looked like Pitta fooled everybody like he was going to the corner and hooked right back up, and a dart by Flacco for the touchdown.
So it's 14-3 now. Next Niners possession. Colin Kaepernick makes a mistake we haven't seen since his first possession of the postseason.
Yeah, he's been pretty good with the football, Rich. I mean, right here, that ball just sailed on him.
Yeah, I don't like Marshall, I don't like to have seen Randy Moss at least jump up for that ball to kind of distract Ed Reed there.
He wasn't close to that ball, Mike. I know what you're saying, but that thing was even close.
I mean, then hats were thrown, helmets come off. Bottom line is, that was Ed Reed's 9th career postseason interception, ties him for most all-time in that department. And then what a big surprise this was, the aforementioned first ever fake field goal in Super Bowl history, but Justin Tucker on 4th and 9 comes up with just 8. So instead of going up by 2 touchdowns, it's still 14-3.
I was okay. Go ahead.
One great player away from that play working. Had not it been Patrick Willis, that play would have been successful.
Great job of Patrick Willis.
Instead, keep that in your mind's eye as Kaepernick almost throws a pick 6 there with his back against his own goal line, and the Ravens got the ball back in quality field position right around midfield. 3rd and 10 with less than 2 minutes to go. First play after the 2-minute warning. Flacco to Jacoby Jones wide open.
Great pocket presence. You see Flacco's footwork. He's not known as a real mobile quarterback, but he has great pocket presence. He stepped up in the pocket and delivered a nice ball.
Great 4-pump by Jacoby Jones right
Oh!
And he was not done in the big
Broke
play
that thing
department
right
on the
down.
night, as this was a 21-3 lead for the Ravens, and the Ravens getting the ball first in the second half. That would be huge for the Niners to get at least a field goal before the half, which they did. Beyonce came out. She was spectacular. 21-6 is your score. Here is the opening kick after the Beyonce concert, and it's Jacoby Jones, 8 yards deep in the end zone, bursting free, and he is gone.
He's thinking about his dance right
don't even think about
now. He's thinking about he's like, y'all, stay back.
Sugar.
That's what Sugar had just rubbed the hands on him.
You did the Sugar Ray Squirrel right there. 28-6, longest kick return in Super Bowl history, tying his own mark of the longest kick return in history of any game, regular season or postseason. And everybody on the Ravens bench loves it, and Jim Harbaugh is bumming not the way he wanted to start the second half. But now we're to the next possession the 49ers have. 2 plays into it,
Turn out
the lights go out.
Somebody put a plug.
And light a can.
35-minute power outage delay.
Somebody calling Buffalo Wild Wings.
And Jerome Boger, the referee, talking to some officials, and basically everybody just chilling.
Rich, that's what happens when Beyonce leaves the field.
Yeah, she took all the energy with her out of the building. And John, I mean, everyone, the wave starts going, and everybody's trying to remain calm and trying to stay focused.
And the crowd handled it well, Rich.
Well, yeah, nobody
They handled it well.
Absolutely.
What else they gonna do?
28-6 is your score after the power outage. Here comes Kaepernick to Vernon Davis right there to the Ravens' 31-yard line, and then Kaepernick throwing to Michael Crabtree, and Bernard Pollard and Kerry Williams just bounce off of
What a play.
They don't wrap up, and it's a 28-13 game, and the energy now was restored to the crowd.
And right there,
play by Crabtree.
you saw the rhythm that Kaepernick got into, and the plays were called, and they just started making plays.
And the defense got into rhythm too, as Ahmad Brooks on a blitz. They brought an extra rusher, which they really don't do too often. That's an 8-yard loss, a 3 and out for the Ravens offense. Next play, Ravens punting. It was a sort of a knuckleball out of Sam Cook, and then Ted Ginn takes that 32 yards. Suddenly now, the Niners are setting up shop in the red zone. And 2 plays later, they're inside the 10 at the 6 of the Ravens, to be specific. And what a neat, designed, and executed play this is.
Man, I mean, they really sealed the edge, got a good chop block on Ed Reed, and it was a race to the corner between Frank Gore
And I guess that's
and Ray Lewis.
That's Gore Kaepernicking there, and Haloti Ngata hurt his knee on this play as they blew everybody up on this play on the offensive line, and Delaney Walker, and that would be it for Haloti Ngata's night, and that's a huge
Big time
loss
loss.
on that defensive line. Next Ravens possession, Ray Rice, row.
Just a great play by the defensive back right there. Got his hands right on the ball as Ray Rice tried to stiff arm him and got that ball out.
And that's Terrell Brown with the knocked loose, and he recovered it himself. The 3rd lost fumble of the postseason for Ray Rice, who rarely does that at any time of his career. And now David Akers comes out as they're forced to settle for a field goal, and there's a little bit of the yips that we've seen out of David Akers of late, except for the fact that Chykie Brown is called for running into the kicker.
I don't know about that, man. I
Wow.
don't know about that.
Did he hit him?
No,
Did he touch him?
That was some good action.
Great act, yeah.
So now it's another shot for Akers, and this is a mulligan, or player B, as I like to call myself in the golf course. And player B is usually better than player A.
Always.
And that one was going through the uprights, and it's a 5-point game all of a sudden. Ravens next possession, 3rd down. Big play here as Flacco finds Bolden, who gets some serious yak.
It's a grown
30-yard
man.
gain.
What a physical player
It's a
he
grown
is.
man.
Somebody daddy out there.
He runs into you and makes plays.
Over 1 hour, the nuttiest 3rd quarter in Super Bowl history took us to the 4th. And in the 4th on 3rd and goal, Flacco buying time with his legs, throws it out of bounds.
Listen,
they have to settle for the field goal
I know
here.
Flacco wasn't elite until after this game, but that's a penalty.
Getting hit right there.
He hit Brady or Manning like that.
That is a penalty.
They might have ejected him.
So the Ravens settle for the field goal, and they're up by 8 again. Next to Niners possession, there's Randy Moss, 32-yard gain. Next play at the 39, the inconvenient truth, running downhill for a run that is as far as his number on his back, 21 yards. 2 plays later, 2nd and 7 inside the red zone, and Colin Kaepernick sets the record for the longest touchdown run by a quarterback in Super Bowl history, previously held by Joe Montana. Touchdown, Colin Kaepernick. Is a 2-point game.
Sap called that.
And on the 2-point conversion, Kaepernick looking for Randy Moss. What do you think of this?
Oh, no, but I mean, if you're going to throw to Randy, let's throw a fade.
So
you know what I'm saying? Let's throw a fade.
It's 31-29.
Not a slant.
What do the Ravens do now with 8:30 to go in the Super Bowl? Flacco to Torrey Smith, but it's pass interference on Chris Culliver.
That kid played hard all night.
Yes, he did.
He played hard. I got a lot of respect for him.
3 plays later, after Jim Harbaugh challenged a Bolden catch, making it 3rd and short. How about that call on 3rd and inches?
Flacco said they had a pitch, or the pass to Anquan Bolden. He went with the sure thing.
5 plays later, it's 3rd and short. This one they can't convert as Flacco can't find Dennis Pitta. They settle for the field goal to make it a 5-point game. And here comes Colin Kaepernick with 2 timeouts and 3 and change to go, trying to drive him down the field, and he does that. And Michael Crabtree, 24-yard gain to the Ravens 40 next play.
Man, this kid can throw the ball, man. Man, he can throw the ball.
Here comes the inconvenient truth out of the pistol, 33-yard rumble.
There's so much deception in these plays. It creates creases, natural creases in defenses, and you can't do anything about it because they force you to get upfield.
Can the Niners pull the improbable comeback? 1st and goal. Michael James runs it into the line, takes it down to the 2-minute warning. Ravens have 3 timeouts left. Niners have 2 timeouts left. Next play, 2nd and goal from the Ravens 5. Kaepernick rolling right, looking for Michael Crabtree, and incomplete.
Man, Crabtree, I thought he should have run a little bit deeper
The
into
Ravens
the end
corners,
zone and then come
they
back.
played pretty darn good tonight. They gave up a lot,
very tight,
but they didn't break.
Next play, 3rd and goal. Crabtree, $1:55 to go. Crabtree can't corral it, incomplete, and it's 4th down. 1:50 to go.
That was a play they were waiting on right there. They diagnosed that play, the Ravens did, and made that play well.
Kaepernick flinging it to Crabtree. Some contact, to say the least. It's a turnover on downs, no flags. What do you think of Jimmy Smith here, Dion? Is this a penalty or not?
Oh, that's a great play.
That's how they've been playing all night.
First of all, Crabtree initiated the contact because he wanted to push off and set him up for the back shoulder fade.
And Jim Harbaugh goes DEFCON 1 Bo Schembechler style right there. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed celebrating in the end zone, but what they need to finish this thing up is some quality play from their punter, Sam Cook. Oh yeah, take your time. This is how you take a safety, kids, when you want to win the Super Bowl. Textbook safety taking out of the punter right there. Taking it down to 4 seconds to go. And Cook with the punt. Ted Ginn tries to make something of it. And that wraps it up. The Baltimore Ravens win Super Bowl 47. The older brother, John, beats younger brother, Jim. Jack and Jackie Harbaugh, their long week is over, and Ray Lewis's long ride to another Lombardi Trophy ends in the New Orleans Superdome on the last game of his career. 34-31 is the final, with his 3 first-half touchdowns to give him 11 in this postseason, tying, not breaking Kurt Warner's mark, the one that he also holds with Joe Montana. That makes him the MVP, Joe Flacco, of Super Bowl 47.